Okay, so last time I gave you a little homework. I hope everybody done. So anyway, the last class I talked about first prostrations. Within the prostrations, there are three types of prostration. Prostration of physical body, prostration of mental mind, or prostration of speech. And also I hand over about the 7 limbs from the king of aspiration. So as I taught you, when you do prostration, you do everything very properly. First, you really set your motivation as a Mahayan practitioner. Any practice you do before, you must set up the motivation about all sentient beings. It's a very important motivation. Then, before you do the prostration, you need to visualize the merit field. You need to visualize something. Buddha Shakyamuni, Buddha, Manjushri, whatever. You need to visualize a Buddha, many Buddhas. You can visualize many Buddhas in front of you. Then you can do the prostration. The short one or long one. Okay? So if you have a time, so I think better to do the long one rather than the short one. It's really good for purifying your negative karma, as well as it is really good for your health. It's really good exercise too. Also, the people who has some digestion problems, the people who has a kind of a little high blood pressure, the long prostration is also very useful. So the long one, everything is same. You have to put your hand together. Then you can do like 3 times or 4 times. The first one. If you do the 3 1, 2, 3. If you recite the 3 verses, include Guru, then 1, 2, 3, 4. That was same. The short one, you have to touch your 5 parts of your body. Your hand, palms, and your knee as your head. So this is very important. The head one. Then the short one, you have to touch how many parts of your body? 5 parts. The long one, you really have to stretch your body as much as you can. When you stretch your body, in front of you just do your hands like this. Another kind of prostration, another kind of respect for the Buddhas. Then after that, you can do the medal offering, or you can do the offering. It depends on your time. For me, before you do prostration, for me it's better to set up your offering, like water, flower, candle, whatever. You must clean your room, set up the everything on the altar. Then you can do the prostration continuously. And after you feel tired, then you do the offering mandala practice. So now we have to talk about the mandalas. So there are many types of mandala. Okay, wait, you can come here a little closer. Not behind, come here. It's empty. I don't hear his also. Also, you can come here too. Yeah. So that's why the offering mandala, there are many different types of mandala. in generally, according to Tantra practice, there are the physical mandala, also the three-dimension mandala. Also, we have to talk about the 37 symbol of mandala, and there's another mandala which is 23 or 25, and there's another mandala we already talk about 7, right? 7 offering mandala. Okay, so what are the 37 numbers of symbol? 37. Okay, you don't have to go word by word, and I know it's so difficult to memorize for you. So when you offer mandala, first what you need to visualize. Of course, you have to set up your motivation. Then you need to visualize, the ground, the golden ground. That means the place which you want to build the mandala. So this is not included into the, 37. After you visualize, the ground of mandala, then you need to visualize the fans, right? Is also not included into the 37. But in this picture, I saw some. This picture comes from one of the texts, right? Which text? This one. Mandala from this one, right? Look at in the last, I think, Sonam.
Yes.
Can we have a copies for them?
Yes, I'm preparing Geshela.
Okay, thank you.
Is this one, sir?
This is yeah. This is a little better than this one. I think it's because plus in the middle there is 38. Right, number 38 should be in the middle like 37. Okay. So after you visualize the ground of mandala, then what you need to set and visualize? You need to visualize the fans of the mandala, right? Those are not included into 37. Within the 37, the first one, the Mount Meru, right, in the middle. So here you can see. I told you again. So this number 1 is a Mount Meru. Okay. So when you offering mandala, so first you pour, whatever you have in the center of the mandala, is symbol of Mount Meru. Then it depends on the eastern part, your side or the Merrifield side. There's 2 different ways. So you are offering mandala in order to receive teaching, in order to receive blessing, in order to receive power, everything is must be your side. Your side. So you offering mandala in order to long life puja for your gurus, or some particular request for the merit field. The eastern part should be the merit field side. So right now you are facing towards the Buddha, so the east side should be this side, okay? When you do some requesting. So 2 different way you can recognize the eastern parts. The center is Mount Meru. Then now we just imagine your side is the east. Then east. Third, south. 4, west. 5th, north. Okay. Then we just finish, the 4 continents. Then we have another sub 8 continents, right? Continents. Then is very important. This is right. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then we finish, visualizing of the, 12 continents. Then next we have to move another 4. 14. Number 14 would be what? Number 14, precious Mountain. Number 15, wish granting trees. Tree. Number 16, yeah. 17, yeah, unplanted harvest, right? So then in the first ground, you need to visualize like 12, total 17 numbers. But in this picture, although other 7 precious thing also included here. In the text mentioned very clearly, when you offering the 7 precious thing, you have to offering above this, above this, the first part. This means 100 on the second. So in here, the number is not going one by one. Here, 26 in the east, 27 south, 28 west, 29 in north. So if we put this way, then the number is, the order is not coming one by one. So you can visualize the 7, precious things like 18, 19, 20, 21, like this way is okay. Also 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, like this way is also okay. Okay, so in the second, on the second range. The last one, if it says a 70 and 8, the last has a 12 symbols. Last is a 12. There's been 8, what? Goddess, right? Then sun, moon, then person, then what? Victor, Renner. Okay. It's been total at 37. According to this number, the last one is 38. That means that the fence also included into the symbols.
The last one is the Buddha.
There's not really Buddha, right? In the mandala.
Yeah, I know. But actually, when we do up to
The center 38 is the most precious possessions.
Yeah.
the peak 38.
Yeah. So anyway, so we have a handover paper. You can offer mandala according to this, or this also very nice too. It's the same thing. The mandala. Okay. Now we just go in the practical way. It's a little difficult. Okay. So before we doing the mandala, so I show the photos of 35 Buddhas. So I went to the one place, I scanned the photo and I downloaded the DVD. So you're going to have a 35 Buddhas pictures as well as the married field, photos of the married field, also the medicine Buddhas. But I couldn't find the good one, but it's a very simple photo. In the DVD I have is quite good. So the married field is very much depends on you. So this is kind of Gelugpa tradition's married field. You don't have to follow exactly like this. This is the people who practice the Gelugpa tradition. And you are very new. I hope you understand. We have in Tibetan Buddhism we have 4 traditions. First Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, Gelug. So Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, and last Gelug. This is a Gelugpa tradition. If you follow another like Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya tradition, you should have a different merit field. But the structure is same. Also, if you just follow just very Buddhist tradition, not Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, Gelug, then in the center you just visualize your guru, your root guru in the center, manifest as a Buddha Shakyamuni. Then in the right side, you need to visualize Mitriya Buddha. In the left side, you need to visualize the Manjushri. Those are very important. Manjushri and Mitriya Buddha. And the behind, if you practice Thantarayana, then you need to visualize the Vajradhara in the center, Vajradhara, and all the lineage group behind, and Mitriya Buddha, or the extensive lineage teaching guru, and Manjushri, and all the profound teaching lineage gurus. You need only Vajradhara, Mitriya Buddha, Manjushri, then just your guru. You don't have to visualize all this master, okay? So this is very kind of a developer tradition, but it's good for you to have some idea how to visualize the merit field. So we have a DVD. Everybody can have a DVD. So the 35 Buddhas is very, very important. You must visualize when you do offering mandala, when you do prostration, whatever. 35 Buddha is very important in order to purify your negative karma. 35 Buddhas. 35 Buddha is mentioned, name, the color, the mudra, and the symbolic in their hands. So the order is exactly the same. Okay? Buddha Shakyamuni like this, 1, 2, 3. This order is coming according to the prayers, right? Prayers. Okay. So now everybody learn the 37 symbol of the offering. So then the 23 offering mandala must include into 37. There is no separate numbers. So these are 35 Buddhas you must learn. Okay. Anybody can remember the 35 Buddhas' name without looking your paper? Yeah, of course, no problem. So you don't really have to learn word by word, okay? You must remember the name. For example, Buddha Shakyamuni number 1, face, color, the mudra, what things on hand. The next one, what Buddha, the color and the mudra. So when you do prostration, you visualize all 35 Buddhas together. Then you just recite the one name few times, second name few times, one by one, one by one, one by one. If you don't have a time, just do one time. Okay, 35 Buddha's picture you could have. Then we have a merit field and the medicine Buddha photos. So I hope in the future we can have a really good photos, but this time we don't have really good quality pictures. So now, how many people have a mandala? I think you got a mandala, right? I heard sound. If comfortable for you, you just keep the mandala on your lap. If it's not comfortable, then you just put on the table. It's much easy. So for example, you just keep in your lap like this. You play like big plates or just with the chords. Lips separately away. That way you can have some difficulties. So first, what we need to do?
Hold mandala.
Yeah, little like rice, barley, whatever you have, you going to offer. Hold little bit in your hand, and then without empty, you should hold the basis of the mandala. Then hold little like a thing in the right hand. Pull what? Little bit Then what we need to do?
Chan.
Yeah, you can chant, you can recite the 100 syllables. Om Bhaja Sadhu Samaya Manupala is too long, or you very easy one. Om Bhaja Sadhu Hum. Om Bhaja Sadhu Hum. It's a short, 100 syllables. If you have a time, you just recite the long one. Put a little bit, then you chant, then what you need to do? As much as you can in like this way. Om Bhaja Sadhu Samaya Manupala Om Bhaja Sadhu Mahasamaya Sadhu Om Bhaja Sadhu Samaya Manupala Mahasamaya Sadhu Om. That moment you need to visualize, this is kind of, the blessings of the Buddhas, coming down to your body or mind, speech, and, clarifying your negative karma outside, this way, as much as you can. After you finish, then you add one another inside entire. First you need to visualize, I'm receiving a lot of blessing, teaching of Buddha bodies, Buddha speech, Buddha mind, 3 times. And you finish just a little bit, you don't stay here. Then first Om Bhaja Bhumi Ahom finish, then Om Bhaja Rikhe Ahom. This is the, put this here. Rikhe is the fans of the mandala. And you put your finger here, okay, make sure don't fall in here. The right way. Om Bhaja Rikhe Ahom, right? And next one, what? Mon Meru, right? Like in the center. Ri Jabo Rira Mon Meru, right? Then Sha Lubabo Eastern, Lord Zambuling, very slowly. No Polange in the west, Chang Dominion or north. So we just visualize, finish visualization of the 4 continents. And next one, 8 subcontinent, right? How we have to do? Luidang, Lupa, then come back. Then I will Nayab Dang, Nayab Jen. Then Yonten the Lamsho Do. Next one, Demi Nyan Dang, Demi Nyan Da. So we just finish visualization of the 12 continents. Continents. Next we have to visualize what? Another 4.
Precious mountain.
Huh?
Precious mountain.
Precious mountain in the east. Here, okay? Shibuchi, Ryo. In?
Which gratitude?
Yeah, in the south. Then? Which cow? In the west. The next one? Unplugging harvest in the south. Then we totally finish, the 12 continents as well as the 4 things. Then we put this one. When you say, when you say the wheel, wheel of Dharma, precious wheel, put second. Then, okay, when you say, Holo Rinpoche is, then if we follow the number, Nulbu Rinpoche, the precious gem in the south. Then precious queens in the west. The next one, precious minister in the north, right? Then another one,
Precious elephant.
elephant in the middle of between east and south. The next one,
Precious horse.
between where?
South and west.
South and west. South and west here. Then next one,
Precious general.
general where? between west and north, between last one,
Great treasure vast.
in the
Great
North,
treasure.
between north.
between north and east. Then we totally finish, the 7 auspicious symbol, precious symbol as well as the treasure was. Then next we have to say Gegma. In English,
Goddess of
Goddess of
goddess of
beauty.
beauty. That moment you just put here, and also just follow according to the pictures. First, goddess of beauty, Gegma. Goddess of garden in the south. Then next one,
Goddess of song.
Goddess of song.
Gegma, Tom, goddess of flower.
Song.
Gegma, Tom, Luma, song, yeah, in the west. Then
Goddess of dance.
dance in the north. So we just finished 4. And next we have to visualize another 4, right? Still more than 4. First one
Goddess of
Goddess
flower.
of flowers.
is where? Between
East and
east and south. The next one
Goddess of east and
between
Sense.
south and
west.
west. The next one
Goddess
Goddess
of
of
light.
light.
between north and
West.
west. Okay, then we finish the 8, goddess.
One more.
One more is between north and east. Then we finish 8 goddess. Then another 4. What? Sun we have visualized where?
South.
Your right side. So you have this is your east. This means your sun, moon, then
Precious.
Precious. Parasol.
pearl in the north. Vector
Banner.
banner. So then finally you put this one here. And also you hold it little bit in something in your hand, like this. Then you can recite, the short mandala in English or in Chinese or Tibetan. Tibetan is Saji Visualization method. Another visualization. Visualize, the mandala ground with a very cleanness. Then, Mount Meru, the 4 continents, and sun and moon. Then you hold just a few minutes, visualize the magnetic field, everything you offer with pure motivation, with your deep heart. Hold as much as you can, and you pray whatever you want to do. Finally, you finish idam guru rana mandala teya me. They just throw a little, Also, then when we visualize, I'm offering, the flower to all the Buddha, land, Buddha field or Buddha land. And finish, then you have to fall towards where? Your side, okay? For example, I finish over mandala, and idam guru rana mandala teya, like your side. So, and this time the shape of mandala is a round. But you can have a mandala shape with a 4 corner. Also, you can have a mandala with a triangle shape with a triangle. And also you have a kind of half moon shape. It depends on the purpose. So someday you have to offer the mandala in order to purify illness. Purify your obstacle. That moment you visualize the round one. The mandala color will be totally white as a milky color. So in order to develop your wisdom, in order to increase your wisdom, in order to increase your practice, then you can visualize the mandala with the four corner. What do you call it in English? With four corner.
Square.
Square. Okay. You are here. Then, in order to receiving, lot of power, also you can visualize. So, the second, in order to increase your wishing, your faith, your practice, the mandala color will be yellow. In order to, get a lot of power, the mandala color will be red. And the shape is going to look like, the half moon. So then, if you are a high practitioner of Kandrayana, then you can visualize, the mandala is kind of a very black color. The shape is also, triangle. And so I don't think it's good for you. You just do, first three, not the last one. Another important, if you, doing kind of 1 million offering mandala, then you don't have to use two of them. You can just use two. You don't have to do anything, like the same thing. Om Bhaja, hold little bit. Om Bhaja, visualize the mandala Baron. Then, Om Bhaja Sadhu Samaya Mandala, Om Bhaja Sadhu Samaya Sadhu, Om Bhaja 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 Sadhu, little bit, then just put this one, then first one, one mirror, right? Read your body, share your body, change now everything have visualize here. Kolo Rinpoche, Nobo Rinpoche, Tsumo Rinpoche, Rambo Rinpoche, Lambo Rinpoche, Tajo Rinpoche, Maba Rinpoche, Devchaboy Pumba, Gema, Tama, Luma, Karama, Medoma, finish four, then Duvema, Nasama, Tichama, Nima, Dawa, Rinpoche, Chola, Naba, again, the Guru Soladami, Bajo, Mazan, like full everything, and you can put this one. Very simple. Just one time. Saji, Pichu, Madonna, then just one time. Or also you can, if you do more easy one, they just just Saji, Pichu, Madonna, so this will do.
For the short one, you don't have to clean the mandala base every
So the
time.
first time, you have first you have to do everything properly. Then you don't have to do everything, but just do your counting the number. But you shouldn't forget the visualization of all the the offering symbols.
You mean all the 37s?
37 or 23 or just 8. Don't forget the symbols.
Geshela,
Yes.
you see, the increased wisdom is we visualize a square mandala, but the mandala we use still can be the round one.
You can use same mandala. The visualization you can change that in your visualization. So offering mandala is very important. Okay. Then as a normal people, everybody has a the mandala made of gold or silver or copper. Just use your hand. Did like this. Little like this, and like this. Put together, and sorry. Twist in the center or like this. Very easy, okay? These are 4 continents. Moon Meru, together Moon Meru and Sun and Moon. We have 6. 4 continents. Moon Meru 5 and Sun and Moon 7. Also Saraji we give you Sangeja Midemba in Nanda Yidam Guru and Menda Lakamia there me then just like this. Okay, offering mandala just finished. Any question related to the offering mandala?
Geshela, when you said visualize it white, what are the things that we visualize white?
Everything is white.
Everything is white.
Yeah, the field is, merit field is totally white. Mandala, all the, everything is white.
All the items are white.
Everything is white, totally white. White is symbol of peace, yellow is symbol of increase. Red is symbol of power. The black is symbol of the kind of the wrathful activities. Look at in Chinese culture, they really love to use the red color, the red flower. Everything is very red. They really want to have a lot of power. That's what I think is the culture.
Geshela, so the precious item we offer, do we offer them aesthetic or is alive? Like it's alive, the cows?
It's very important. Everything look like alive. The sun is real, moon is real, the precious tree, everything is real, in real. You shouldn't think just as made of something. Okay. So any question related to the mandala? So otherwise we can move next subject.
Do we visualize one cow or many cows?
Huh?
Do we visualize one cow or many cows?
Many, because so you are in reality level, you are just one person, you are holding one mandala. But you have to visualize not only yourself, not only one. There are many, hundreds of thousands of you. And not only one merit field, you have to visualize many merit fields. All the object offering is many. So you have to visualize as much as you can. The merit field, the offering things. When you do the prostration, you should visualize. You yourself multiply as much as you can. Just 1, 2, 4, 100,000. Finally, you should think you yourself feel of the length is totally feel of you. Then you can accumulate a lot of merits, a lot of good karma. Okay, any question?
What's the fence for?
Fence. This is related to the history of the planet. So according to actually it's mentioned in many Buddhist texts, especially I think Yin Adivasbandhu in Treasure Abhidharma text, he mentioned the size of the world, and the shape of the world. So how the universes look like. Then they believe, actually there's a golden ground on the under the world. That there's a lot of waters, but like a big ocean. Within the center of the ocean, there's a Mount Meru. The Mount Meru is surrounded by, kind of the fence.
The fence is made of.
Huh?
And the fence is made of.
Made of iron.
Oh.
Yeah, iron. Chief chakri, this in Tibetan chakri, His fence is like a kind of his fence, but the shapes look like a lot of mountain. Chief chakri, the iron mountain. Then there's 8 continents. The 8 continent also shape is different. Look at it. The east shape is look like a half moon. Look like, right? Then the south continent shape is look like, I don't know how shape. Then west is like a round. The north is a square shape. Okay. So this is related, I think, related to the history of the world according to Hindu tradition, and also the Vasubandhu. Exactly, he explained the shape and size and color, everything according, I think, very similar with the Hindu tradition. And I mentioned you, according to Buddhist tradition, we have two different views about the universe. One is, the like a totally flat. One is not flat, it's kind of round. So we follow the Mahayan Buddhists, especially the Tantrayana practitioner, they follow the second one. The shape of the universe is kind of round, not really flat. And also, very interesting, when we think about our karma, different, we have a very common world, which is where everybody perceives as in the same way. If you think more deeper way, precisely, each people has their own kind of, universe. Even though when you sit in this house, this hall, different people has a different perception, different ideas, or different people have different feeling. Also, Chandrakirti mentioned in the Madhyamaka text, 1 cup of, water, it is water for human being. You can drink as a water. This is kind of nectar for the gods and goddess. This is kind of blood for the the 4 hungry gods. So one kind of substance can be water for human being, can be nectar for the the god and goddess, can be blood for the hungry gods. It's just one substance. Because different people has a different karma. So we cannot say the universe shape must be exactly this way. So different people have a different karma. According to their karma, they have a different shape of universe. Some universe can be somebody for flat, somebody is round, not certain. Okay, yes?
Geshela, do you think you can spend some time explaining to us the 37 offering, each benefit, so we know what we are offering and give us more faith in offering? For example, when we offer the precious queen, what is the benefit of offering that?
Yeah. Also, I think each month, end of each month, we should have a kind of a special class, so then we can have a just more discussion. We can follow the class. Also, each month, end of the month, we can have a special class, and we can have more clarifications, things so. So this look at also the 7 precious precious queen so and so. In the English text, they mention the precious thing, but in Tibetan we can say Geshe Lobsang, 7 precious thing for the king. So I think in the common practice, I don't think it's just very normal things. If we link this practice to the Tantrayana, then there's a lot of deeper meaning. So we have to go, related to the Tantrayana practice. And also look at, the 8 goddess. First is, beauty of, goddess. Second one, garland. Third one, song, right? Also, everything I think we must connect with the Tantrayana practice. But in normal way, we just visualize, everything is God and godness.
Sorry, the items, like for example, the wish to bring cow, right?
Mhm.
We just visualize a cow.
Yeah. We just visualize, a cow which is very unique. But, we look at, it is very important, the idea of religion. Let's say 4,000 years ago, the religion was very simple. There were not many religions, very simple. Then we have a Hindu religion, is more, complex. Then we have a Christian, Muslim, whatever. Then finally, kind of Buddhism come in India in around 2,700 years ago. And that time, the people are not that intelligent. That moment, the Buddhas, all the masters, have to teach according to their mental level. They're not really advanced. And at that time, the people really believe, what the Buddha said. People really believe what the Guru, what the Master says. So some of the, concept of culture, the Buddhist culture, some of the Buddhist concept, we have to change according to the time. Something is really, some concept is really fit at that moment, but some concept not really fit this moment. We must change this kind of concept. But the practice parts, we shouldn't change anything. So, at yesterday evening, I was thinking about offering mandala. Yeah, that time, they must visualize this thing. In this moment, why not? We just modify the offering mandala. We can have a kind of new concept of the mandala. Center we have to visualize Mount Meru. Why not we just visualize center just this world, this planet? Yes, so we have how many planets? Solar. How many solar system do we have?
9.
9? Look at the first is the sun. After sun, what? Sun, then
Mercury and
You never
Mercury.
Sure.
It's not
Mercury,
helpful.
Venus,
that's the next one,
Venus,
Earth, right?
Venus, and then Earth, and then Mars,
Okay.
Jupiter.
Yeah. So actually there is 9 planets. So the Earth in the number 3rd, right?
Earth
First,
is on the
second,
third.
third.
Yes.
So we just visualize, the Earth between, these planets. Visualize this thing. And then in the center, there's the world. The world is surrounded by, another 8 planets. Then you just visualize all the beautiful things in the world. They just offer everything. Very easy and very practical, very easy to visualize. We don't have to really, follow the ancient tradition, which is not really fit in this time. So that's why I was thinking, okay, there's 9 planets. The Earth is the number 2nd. Just visualize this way, which is okay. Okay, then we go new subject, right? Okay, now what we need to study about? After confession, then?
We are still doing confession.
Okay, so what are the 4 powers in order to practice,
Power basis.
Okay, power basis,
Abbreviation,
very good.
refraining,
Training.
and applying method.
Okay, we have got 4 powers. Why we use the name power? Power,
Page 47.
basis power. Why we use the name power? Power,
Why?
power. And in Tibetan language we say, top, top G. In English, the 4 power. So look at power means if you practice, these 4, you're going to purify your negative karma. It has a very, strong power. That's what we call power, 4 powers. The first is the basis power. So basis power we can divide into how many categories? Two, right? The two. One,
Self.
Buddhas.
whom you have seen.
To
To whom you have seen.
sorry.
To whom you have seen.
Okay. The basis power we must recognize what? Basis power. So look at now. You look like okay. You must realize yourself. Accumulate really lot of negative karma in this life. Also, I accumulate lot of negative karma in the previous life. You really want to purify the negative karma. So you have to visualize the merit field, or you have to visualize something in front of you, like a Buddha, right? Buddhas. The Buddhas is also in a basis of power. Also, sentient being, also basis of power. For example, this morning you accumulate negative karma, rely on your friend or your friends. So you really need to eliminate the negative karma, which is you carry and rely on your friend. What you need to do, you need to develop compassion, kindness, love towards your friends. Your friends also the basis power. Okay, basis power. And also all the Buddhas, all the merit fields also are the basis power. So before we talk about the confession, look at in the sentence, it's very nice way to say thought. If you do not confess the sins at all, the sins doubles every day. That's why you accumulate very small or simple negative karma. If you don't clarify the negative karma, then it increases every day. So one reason you have to clarify the negative karma every day. And also, if you know how to clarify negative karma, then the big negative karma, the heavy negative karma also become very small, very minor, very light. If you don't know how to clarify, your negative karma, the simple, very minor negative karma become very heavy. So everybody must learn that even though the negative karma is so heavy, how you must clarify, how you must minimize, how you might stop increasing. So that's why the basis power is very important. So without basis power, you cannot clarify the negative karma from the root, the basis. Basis, we must divide into two categories. One is the Buddhas, one is the sentient being. Okay, because the negative karma we accumulate rely on Buddhas or rely on human being. So these are the basis power divided into two. Then they mention the Ananda, Angula Mala, and Ajay Shastra, Shankara, even though they accumulate really heavy negative karma. Somebody killed their own father, someone killed their own mother. So even though they killed their parents, they accumulate one of the very heaviest negative karma, but they become Arya in this lifetime due to the practice of four power. And the first is the basis. Second one, power of repudiation, right? Is a regret. If you really know, if you really believe the result or the consequence of negative karma, then you're going to have a sense of regret. If you really don't believe the result of negative karma, then I don't think you can have a sense of regret. For example, this morning, if I act kind of the very strong, very powerful poison, if I know the consequence, then I feel very, regret, I feel very afraid. I'm not really happy with eating this poison food. If I don't have any idea, if I don't know the consequence of very strong poisoned food, then after I eating the poison food, I don't think I have a sense of regret. We must know the result of negative karma. So regret. Regret not just simple one, okay? You really need to think, okay, so I accumulated this karma this morning, it's really, really bad. You really need to regret about what you've done, what you have done, regret. Then you visualize the merit field, is kind of, basis power, then you got really strong regret about the action you have done this morning, which is you did in the previous life, you need really regret. So after you got in the basis power, regret, the next one, what you need to do, you really need to do kind of, promise, or you really need to do kind of, commitment. Okay, yes, unfortunately, due to my ignorance, due to my, misunderstanding, I did, good, I accumulate bad negative karma. In the future, I never ever going to do again and again. You need very strong, stable kind of commitment, like a promise. This is kind of the power of refraining, right? Now you have a merit field, you got really strong, very strong regret, and you got very stable kind of commitment. The last one, what you need to do, you really need to purify the negative karma through practice of bodhicitta, practice of compassion, and reciting very holy mantra, chanting a lot of texts, whatever. With the three things is very important: the basis power, and power of repudiation, power of refraining. Within the three things, when you recite one mantra, it's become very powerful. If you miss one of them, yes, still you can minimize the negative karma, but it's not that powerful. So in order to become powerful, in order to have a really powerful confession, you need a really good power of basis, power of repudiation, power of refraining. Within the three things, then you can recite mantra, you can do prostration, you can do offering things, whatever, it's become very powerful. Okay, so 4 powers. Then we mentioned about 5 Buddhas. 35 Buddhas. You're going to have the picture in the DVD. Then we talk about the 5 families Buddha or 5 Buddhas. What are the 5 Buddhas? 5 Buddhas. Do you remember? The first one, Akshobhaya. Second one, Virochana. Third one, Renasambhava. Fourth one, Amitabha Buddha. The fifth one, Amoghasiddha. 5 Buddhas. Also, many texts you can see 5 families Buddha. 5 family Buddhas. 5 Buddhas. All the Buddhas must include into 5 Buddhas. even though in the future when you become a Buddha, you must include one of the Buddha, or Akshobhava, Verochana, Renasambhava, Amitabha, or Amoghasiddha, or Shakyamuni. So 5 families Buddha. And 5 family Buddhas also include in one Buddha. Which one? Vajradhara. Okay? So that means, so when you visualize the married field, you just think, all the Buddhas include 5 families Buddha. 5 family Buddha include into the Vajradhara. The final also you can visualize just one Buddha, Vajradhara. Also next class we have to learn the Vajrasattva practice, right? It's mentioned here. Each evening before you go to bed, okay, each evening before you go to bed, of course everybody must have a 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just think about what you have done today. But this evening you just think, since morning, okay, I have a take shower, I have a breakfast, I met my friends. From 9 to 7, did I have some angry attachment, some negative thought in my mind? You do some kind of analysis. Then after 9 to 12, when you have a lunch, you just reflect what you have done between 9 to 12. And 12 to 5, 5 to 9, you just each kind of session, you just reflect what you have done. And in the evening, before you go to bed, it's so important you reflect, you make a reflection about your day to day. In the morning, afternoon, evening, until you sleep. If you remember, yes, I have an argument with my friend, that moment I get angry. I accumulate bad karma. Or I lie something with my friends. You should do confession practice with the 4 bases. And also according to some practitioner tradition, usually they keep, when they do kind of retreat, they keep 2 kind of group, 2 types of stone, white and totally black stone. They put separately. When they have negative thoughts, put 1 black stone. 2, 3, 4. One of the practitioners, beginning of the practice, he found in the evening only black, not any white pieces stone. He tried many times, and one day he saw there's one in a stone here. Then he was so happy. Each day he analyzed about his practice, his mind, his thoughts. Then each day the black stone increased, the white stone black stone decreased, the number of white stone increased. And then after a few years he has only white stone, not any black stone. So you have to reflect, you have to make a reflection what you have done within 1 day. So you do kind of the prostration with the visualizing 35 Buddhas, do some prostration, or you do the Vajrasattva's practice. So next class I will teach you the Vajrasattva's practice, right? It's mentioned here.
We have 5 more minutes. You want to open the questions?
Okay, yeah. 1 second. Here's. Okay, before taking question answer, and this text also mentioned, when you doing special confession about your negative karma, then after 1 month, 2 months, after 1 year, 2 years, then you can have some kind of indication, some sign in your in your dream. If your practice be very kind of powerful for eliminating negative karma, then you can have a dream, kind of vomiting, kind of, black liquid, vomiting, kind of snake, or vomiting kind of another kind of beings from your, vomiting, that's been good sign. That means your confucian practice become, powerful. Also you can see, meeting holy being, or, you are walking towards eastern side. It's also good sign. Or also you can have a lot of dream, kind of eating good fruit, drinking milk, eating yogurt. This is also good sign about your practice. If you have a lot of dream about always going towards, the west side, not the east, it's kind of auspicious sign. And you always have a kind of dream about meeting, going in kind of temple. The temple is not so attractive, not so beautiful, lot of dust. Also is kind of, not good, sign. That means you have a kind of lot of negative karma. You must purify the negative karma. It's mentioned in this text, and then I check with the Lamrim Chenmo. It's mentioned all the sign. So next, when we study about Lamrim Chenmo, you can study more about the, education and science. Okay. So we almost finished the Lamrim class today. So anybody have any question related to the mandala, related to the 4 powers?
Right, Geshela,
Yes.
when you said the second power, the remorse, and the text, he gave the example of 3 persons eating poisonous food, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first one is dead, the second one seriously ill, and then the third one, he do not feel anything, but he saw that the other 2 that eating the same things, having problems, and then he developed regrets. Don't quite understand that.
I think this is his kind of story, right? With the 3%.
It's the explanation that Rinpoche Pabongka given. So, but I do not understand what he's trying to say about the
I think he's telling a short story about 1%. There's 2%, right?
repudiation. Sorry.
Reputation,
Yeah.
right? Related to the reputation. Reputation. Yeah. It's telling, for example, 3% eat at very kind of poison food.
The first person died.
Yeah.
The second one ill.
Get ill.
The third one,
Yeah.
it sounds like he's okay, but looking at the other 2 has problems.
Yeah.
I don't get.
Yeah. For example, let's say there were 3 people who ate poisoned food. One is death due to the eat poison food. The second was ill, got really strong sick. The third one, now he understood, yes, my friend, one is dead because we ate this food. One is really sick. Now he was very worried, right? Because he also ate the poison food. He was very worried. He was very regret about eating the poison food. Then what he going to do? He really want to, clean the poison food which he ate. So that means he got very strong regret about eating poison food, because he know if he not going to clean the poison which is on his body, this he know he going to sick. He knows he going to death. That means it's kind of an example of regret. So because he noticed, one already dead, one is very serious ill. So last he going to get sick, and also he going to death. So before he going to ill, get an illness, before you go to death, you really want to clean the poison. So everybody, look at, many people already dead, they were in the, lower realm, somebody, going to die today, tomorrow. So you have a time to eliminate or purify your negative karma. So you must done, this kind of purifying practice right now. Otherwise, you're going to go through the same, process, get illness and going to die. Okay, any question?
I read the book. I find it very difficult to understand and visualize. How to visualize all the Buddhas in the 5 family Buddhas and then these 5 family Buddhas in Vajradhara? How to visualize it?
I think you mixed a few things. So this text mentioned when you do the confession practice, prostration, you need to visualize the 35 Buddhas. So it's so difficult, first there is color white, then red, then green is changed many times. It's so difficult to visualize for you the 35 Buddhas. What you need to do, the 35 Buddhas, you can divide into 4 groups. 4 groups, okay? 4 groups, and so with first 2 group has a 10 Buddhas, that's means 20. The last group has a 7, that's means 14. Totally 34. Yeah, 34. But Buddha Shakyamuni not included there.
No.
Yeah. They're talking about 35 Buddha. The confession Buddha has a 4 groups, 10, 20, another 7, 14, total 34, plus Buddha Shakyamuni, then 35. Then for you, very easy to visualize, the first, the 10 Buddha has the same color. Also, their color and the mudra is similar with the one of the Buddha. 5 Buddha. Another group also, color and shape and the Buddha is really similar with another Buddha. That means the 35 Buddhas you can make it, 4 groups, and 4 group has a 4 color and different mudras, but they are similar with the 5 family Buddhas. Yeah. And also, you shouldn't worry about the visualization. For example, you just visualize, you just think all the Buddha are there. You really think, from your heart. Even you cannot see, you cannot visualize very clearly. When you visualize, you should think, yes, they are here, but right now I can't see it. I can't see them because my negative karma blocks between Buddha and me. You should think they are here. They are here. Doesn't matter I can see or not. They are here. Okay, you just go this way. Anything? Okay. Yes, Sunam?
Yeah, sorry. Come back to the confessions of the 4 powers again. The second questions will be on the power of reframing. So, it's mentioned in the text over here that you need to set a motivation not to repeat the same mistake again. And then it also mentions something over here, but this is the part that I would like to clarify. Not to repeat it forever, and then there is a month or a year or what. Is it a recommendation for us to set targets to refrain on a certain period and increase, or?
For example, Sonam, I understand this one. Because, for example, so we're going to, for example, okay, we're going to have a retreat for 1 month. So if I go to say, okay, everybody shouldn't have, dinner for 1 month, so everybody feels so difficult, you're not sure about it. Then I will say, okay, everybody shouldn't have a dinner today. And everybody going to think, yes, okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, not eating dinner is okay. So we, over today. Next morning, okay, I say, okay, today also we shouldn't eat dinner. So everybody thinks it's okay, very easy one day. So it's I think it really good, the recommendation from Pabongka Rinpoche teacher is that we shouldn't have do the commitment. I want to whole life. So difficult. We should do commitment only one day. Okay, since today, this morning, until I'm going to sleep, I'm not going to lie. My friend, my family, I'm not going to kind of lie anything. Then you can, maintain the promise. Just one day. So one day over. Next morning, okay, I know the whole life so difficult. I won't do only today. Also, you should think, I'm not going to do bad thing this moment. I don't care tomorrow. I don't care this evening. Okay, now I'm not going to do bad thing now. So we always live in the present moment. So it's really good, recommendation. So practice, you should think, I want to do the best practice. So 1 minute. You're going to pass whole day with a good practice. That is kind of, good recommendation.
It's more realistic, isn't it?
Huh?
It's more realistic.
Yeah,
You
more
say,
realistic.
I'll never do this
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
again. And then the next time you do it, you think, oh. So if you do it like every morning, you can say,
Yeah, yeah.
not today.
That's why, Kuntara Rinpoche said, when you get a early morning, you just always think, I'm very lucky, I'm very fortunate person. Due to, 3 jewels, due to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, I'm alive. I didn't die yesterday, I'm very fortunate. So you just realize you are, alive. Then you should think, say, so since this morning until I sleep, I'm going to do only good thing. I'm not going to do any bad things. He just, set motivation for one day. And should think, we everybody here, we are very fortunate. We have a house, we have a food, we have a clothes. We still alive. Some of your friends, or some of your relatives, or some of your neighbors, someone passed away yesterday or day before. Right now, where they are in human life, or they were born in a cow, they were born as a pig, as a fish. What about right now? We are human beings. We wear very wonderful clothes. If we, tomorrow, if we born in the cow life, what will we look like? So we just set up motivation, just one day is enough. Okay, thank you. Maybe.
Geshela, we still have 5 minutes, sorry.
Okay.
Still on the questions
Okay.
or remorse. Because you set a motivation or restraint, promise not to do it even for today, and then there still are chances that you break that promise. You do it again. For example, telling lie. Sometimes we intentionally tell lies. Sometimes it's because we are not mindful enough, and due to the bad habits, you commit that. So definitely the downfall is separate. How do we overcome that? And is that a very bad karma that you promise and then you regret and then you intentionally do it again? And how to it become a very complex thing.
Look at generally when we do any practice, 3 things is very important. One, the preparation, the actual practice, and of your practice, the dedication. I mentioned 3 times, many times. Before you practice, you need to set up proper, good motivation. Within the good motivation, then you engage in your practice continuously. After you've done your practice, you must dedicate the merit in order to benefit all sentient beings. 3 things. Also, when we when we do some bad thing, also we always do with the three things. First, we have a kind of preparation or motivation. Then we do the actual action, the actual bad action. And we feel something so happy. Oh, I did great job. Even though when you need to engage with some kind of negative action, even though you have a commitment, you have a commitment this morning, even though sometimes there's no option, you have to involve with some kind of negative action. There's no kind of option. Even though when you engage with the negative action, but in your deep down, you are not so happy. That means you're accumulating very kind of light negative karma. Because you are not doing it with your satisfaction, with your happy mind. Because that means, yes, still accumulating negative karma, the karma is not that powerful. Look at somebody asked a question during the Vietnamese teaching at Dharamsala about the corruption. Somebody asked, if I'm not involved with the people who usually do a lot of corruption, they're going to kick me out from my job. If I'm involved with the corruption, I know it's no good. What shall I do? Because if he is not involved with the people, so he's not going to get the job. He's going to lose the job. He lose job is very bad for the family. Also, he noticed it's no good corruption. Then His Holiness says, if there's no any option, so you must, if there's no option, this is okay. You just involve with the, involved with the saying. But in the deep down, you should think it's no good. You should think, I shouldn't do this. It's no good. But in the deep down, you always keep the ethic. Then, you shouldn't accumulate the bad karma. Yeah.
Can I add on to that example? There's also a question towards that. So in terms of corruption, that person, he get involved and he get the corruption money. But he did like what His Holiness has suggested. So the money that he accumulated, can he use this money for good?
Yeah.
Because it is, we said in the text previously, you should not offer anything that by means of deceit. So if you have that corruption money that is come from your job, it's part of your duty, so can you still use that money to offer to the Triple Truth? Or what do you do with that money?
Look at, it's look like very difficult, very complex, When we study about the offering, say that you shouldn't offering with the deceit, right? With the deceit, everything must be very pure. Pure, the motivation very pure, the things very pure. You must buy with your pure money. But the people who have money which is coming through corruption, is coming through the corruption. But the money look like quite clean. Because he get money with the sense of regret. So he involved without any option. The money is not really, the money which is the person made is not really made with a lot of negative thoughts. But at that moment he has a very regret. He noticed, good. And I think the money is going to look like quite pure.